It's hop harvest season, and we here at Northern Brewer want to help you along with your first year's harvest. In this video, we're going to show you how to tell when your hops are ready to pick and how to harvest safely and efficiently. In our next two videos, we'll brew with fresh hops and talk about drying and storing homegrown hops. Before we get started, if you like this type of content and want more of it, subscribe to Northern Brewer's YouTube channel, and be sure to hit the notification bell. You already subbed? Be sure to hit that like button. Now let's harvest our homegrown hops. Months of care and patience are about to pay off. You planted your hop rhizomes in the spring, and over the past 6 months, the hop vines, or bines, grew tall and strong. You watched your hops grow from spidery buds of tiny hairs to bountiful bunches of plump green hop cones. You'll likely notice that different varieties of hops come in many different shapes and sizes, from round, small cones the size of a marble to long, slender cones about the size of your finger. While they look different, the signs of ripening are common between them all. So how do you know when it's time to harvest your hops? Well, by late summer, the cones will start to lose a little bit of their bright green color. This is because as they ripen, the hops often begin to fade to a light pale green and will even brown a bit at the tips of the small leaves. These are called bracts. This browning is one sure sign that harvest time is near. It's important to note that while some browning is okay, any hops that have gone completely brown are beyond ripe and should be discarded, aka throw them in the trash. Hops will also become less compact. The once tight cones will open up as they begin to dry out on the vine. Another important sign that your hops are ready to harvest is the color of the lupulin glands. Take a cone and split it perfectly down the middle lengthwise, and the pollen-like substance you see inside is the lupulin gland. This is where the hop gets its resins and essential oils. It's what gives beer its hoppy flavor and aroma. Early in the growing season, lupulin glands are pale light yellow or almost lime green. As hops mature and become ready for harvest, the lupulin glands become a darker yellow, almost a light orange. The hops will have a strong aroma when crushed and rubbed across your hands. Hops will also feel different when they're ready to harvest. When they are ripe, the hop cones lose a little bit of their moisture content and they become papery and less plush to the touch. When you pinch a ripe hop cone, it bounces back into shape rather quickly, whereas an unripe hop cone will actually squish for a few seconds after you squeeze it. Different hop varieties mature in different timelines, which is to say, if you're growing different varieties of hops, they may not all be ready at the same time, so be prepared to harvest in shifts as necessary. Once you've determined that your hops are ready to harvest, it's time to get to work. If your hop vines are not very tall, or if you grew them horizontally, like on this arbor setup, you might be able to pick the hops standing on the ground or with the help of a small ladder. However, hop vines can grow upwards of 20 feet tall like these epic hops outside of our Midwest supply store. For really tall vines, we suggest you cut down or unhook the top of the line and carefully lower it to the ground or a table so you can pick the hops more safely and comfortably. Gently remove the hop cones from the vine, much like you would pick a berry or pluck a grape from a bunch. Pick only the cone and then leave behind the leafy and vine matter and as much of the stem as possible. Hop vines tend to be abrasive and cause minor scratching, plus the lupulin glands are quite sticky, so if you're sensitive to plants, wear gloves. Just check out the lupulin buildup on these gloves after picking Cascades and Centennials. It's a good idea to collect hops in a bucket or a bag. If you have different varieties of hops, it's also a good idea to label them and keep them separated while harvesting. This is a very important step because once the hops are off the vine, it can be very tricky to identify them and they can look very similar. Now that you have your homegrown hops picked, there are two options. You can either brew with them fresh, or you can dry them and store them for future use. Coming up soon, we'll do a video on both of these scenarios. And if you're watching this video because you're interested in growing your own hops at home, know that every spring, Northern Brewer offers hop rhizomes for sale. Sign up for our emails to know when you can pre-order and get your hop garden going next year. Cheers.